This is the opportunity to get our first hit of weather for this morning and say hello to Emma Freedman, who's in New Zealand. Good morning, Emma.
Good morning to you, Cam and Layla. We are situated this morning on the Marlborough Sounds, which is on the northern part of the South Island of New Zealand. And quite simply, this morning is all about gorgeous nature. Just take a look at that magnificent view. How's the serenity? We're going to take a look at your Sunday weather forecast straight after the break.
All right, it's about time we got the weather report, and we should also ask Emma Freedman if she had a terrible afternoon yesterday in Marlborough. Emma.
Oh, it was foul. It was awful. Cam and Layla, I hated it. I'm joking. Actually, I was very responsible yesterday afternoon at the Marlborough Wine and Food Festival. I was a designated driver, so I kept very tidy indeed. But I tell you what, the 8,000 people that were there, they had an absolutely brilliant time, and as they should, because this part of the world is magnificent. We're situated this morning on the Kenepuru Sound, which is in the Marlborough region, at the Peppers Portage, which is a luxury retreat you can come and visit. How do you get here? We have to get on a ferry from the little quirky town of Picton, and the landscape here is just so untouched. It really does show off how beautiful New Zealand is, and we're going to show you all around it throughout the morning. But we'll take a look at your weather, your national fly around, and see what's happening with your weather at your place today, starting off in Queensland and in Cairns, looking like a couple of storms and maybe some rain will affect you today. A top of 30 degrees, 29, and rain with easterlies blowing on Hamilton Island. Rockhampton and Gladstone, rain and the chance of a storm, topping 28 degrees. 30 in morning storms and more rain on the way for Bundaberg and Maryborough. And then into Toowoomba, cloudy and a top of 29. Moving into New South Wales, Grafton, mostly sunny, 32 degrees. Hot and sunny also in Tamworth and Dubbo, into the high 30s. 42 degrees in Broken Hill today. Another very hot day in Albury with a late cool change forecast, 42 the top, and 39 degrees with sunny conditions in Canberra. Into Victoria, and it is going to remain very warm in the northern parts of the state. Mildura, hot and sunny, 39. 40 and hot until the afternoon with a cool change due in Sale. And down at the Bull, a couple of showers clearing. Going to be pretty windy down there, a top of 24 on the coast. Moving into Tassie, Launceston, a few afternoon showers, 31 degrees, and 34 with windy conditions. Late showers also due in Swansea. Moving into South Australia, Mount Gambier, morning showers, 24. Cooling down in Port Lincoln, mostly clear in 24 as well. And it's going to be a hot day in Cooper Pedy, forecast top of 40 degrees. Into our west, in Albany, partly cloudy, 23. 31 and sunny in Kalgoorlie. Geraldton can expect a sunny day, 39. Much the same for Karratha, and there might be an afternoon storm in Port Hedland with a top of 40 degrees. And into the top end of the country for your Sunday morning, Yulara, sunny and 40, 32. And showers and storms due in Darwin. In Katherine today, showers and afternoon storms as well, 34. And much of the same, afternoon precipitation, some wet and unsettled conditions. If you are in Nhulunbuy with a top of 30 degrees. What you can see there is Cowshed Bay, and that is situated right here on the Marlborough Sound. A great place to come for a little bit of R&R at Peppers Portage. If you want to get some fresh air and into the great outdoors, you can participate in many activities, including kayaking, biking and hiking, and we're going to be showing you everything that you can do in this great part of the world all throughout the morning. Cam and Layla?
Picton, I think, is the home of the green-lipped mussel, which goes very well with a glass of white wine, Emma.
Is Cam, and I tell you what, those mussels are so big that you cannot fit them in your mouth in one bite.
No, that's right, they are.
Because I've sampled quite a few of them over the last few days.
They are delicious.
No matter how hard you try and how often. Thanks very much, Emma.
Weekend Today's Weather, brought to you by Inner Health Plus.
Have you had your Inner Health Plus today?
Thank you, Layla. We are checking out the Marlborough Sounds in New Zealand this morning, taking you on a little bit of a tour of this beautiful country, basing ourselves at Peppers Portage. And this is where you can experience so much of the luxurious wilderness that you can explore via foot. And we actually did that with Juliet here. She's from Wilderness Guides, and we went on a little bit of a tour of the Queen Charlotte track a little bit earlier in the week. It's about 70 k's, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was fantastic to show you around a little bit, and it's a absolutely stunning 70 kilometres through the wilderness and the Marlborough Sounds.
No, we didn't do 70 kilometres.
No.
I will just tell you that. We did a fraction of the track, but we'll show you a little bit of it after we take a look at your weather and see what's happening with your major centres right across our great nation. If you you are in Cairns. Looking like a rainy day with a chance of a storm, a top of 30 degrees, 31, and showers and the chance of a storm also in Townsville. Looking like a cloudy day in Brisbane, topping 29 degrees and also overcast on the Gold Coast. Moving into Sydney, becoming windy today by the harbour. Sunny though, a top of 28, 39 degrees and hot for our nation's capital. If you are in Melbourne, windy and a cool change about midday. I know it's going to be welcome, a top of 37 degrees, 35 and afternoon showers due in Hobart. Looking like a mostly sunny day in Adelaide, topping 28 degrees, 34 and also clear skies in Perth. Moving into the Alice and partly cloudy there, a top of 37 and 32 is the forecast high with showers and the possibility of storms if you are in Darwin. Today's show Jeeps are on the streets again on this Sunday with a lot of great giveaways for you to pick up if you are in Sydney. King Park is the place to go on Cambridge Street in Marylands, in Melbourne at Altona Beach, in Brisbane AJ Jones Recreational Reserve in Greenslopes, Adelaide the Unley Pool in Forestville, and in Perth the R.A. Cook Reserve, which is in Bedford. Okay, Juliet, the Queen Charlotte track is the ideal walking destination for hikers, isn't it?
It is. It's a fantastic New Zealand coastal track. It's probably one of the best in New Zealand. The beauty of the track, well, you can see the terrain. It's sunken river valleys. The land is sunk and the sea has come in, flooded. It's absolutely beautiful, yeah.
It is magnificent, and we did a guided walk, but if you're an experienced walker, I guess you can go and design your own track as well.
Yes. The great thing about the Queen Charlotte track is it's kind of your style, your way, so you can book everything from camping, backpackers, lodges, boutique hotels, resorts like Pepper's Portage here, so yeah, there's something for everyone.
It is brilliant, Cam and Layla, and even this morning, because of the time difference, I was able to go for a little bit of a trot myself this morning around the terrain, and while some of it is particularly flat, I went the wrong way, and I know that tomorrow I'm going to have extra sore calves, which is actually quite delightful.
Yeah. There's some satisfaction in having the pain of exercise, isn't it?
And it
sore
is
calves.
hard to feel sorry for Emma at this stage, isn't it?
Yeah, because we know that she's got plenty of anaesthetic over there growing in the vineyards.
I just looked up Pepper's Portage too, it doesn't look bad.
No.
Let's get the weather now with Emma Freedman. Emma, oh, that's a pretty shot.
Yeah.
That is a very pretty shot, and that's where you can enjoy a lovely meal if you visit Pepper's Portage here in the Marlborough Sounds in the northern part of the South Island of New Zealand, Layla. That's where you can sit down, enjoy some delicious cuisine, people just having their breakfast at the moment, before they head out and maybe tackle a bushwalk or even a bit of bike riding, which we did the other day. We're going to show you that straight after we take a look at your weather and see what's happening with your capital cities right across the country. Starting off in Cairns, it is looking like a rainy day with storms, about a top of 30 degrees, 31 and showers and the chance of a storm in Townsville. If you are in Brisbane, cloudy too, a top of 29, and 29 is also the forecast top on the Gold Coast. Moving into Sydney, it's going to become pretty windy by the harbour, but looking sunny, 28 degrees, 39 and hot and very fine skies if you are in Canberra. In Melbourne today, windy and a cool change should hit the city by the bay by about midday, a top of 37, 35 degrees and afternoon showers in Hobart. If you are in Adelaide, mostly sunny, cooling down, top of 28, 34 degrees if you are in Perth. Moving into the Alice, partly cloudy, a top of 37, and in Darwin, showers and storms are possible, topping 32 degrees. A big thanks to Air New Zealand for getting us over to the land of the long white cloud. Daily flights out of all Australian major centres into Wellington, Auckland and also Christchurch, and then you just jump on a connecting flight right into Blenheim, which is in the centre of the Marlborough region. You can head to their website, which is airnewzealand.com.au, to book your next great getaway. Okay, so it is an adventurous paradise here on the Marlborough Sounds, and they've got tracks for all abilities if you get on a bike. Terrain can vary, pretty downhill and tricky, or you can take a leisurely kind of stroll through the area and take in the views. It's really good to get out there and experience the great outdoors and live a healthy and active lifestyle, and there are some cool people to show you around the traps, just like Action Andy, who has been doing that over the last couple of days. He took us bike riding and he also took us kayaking as well, Layla and Cam. We're going to show you that a little later on, but of course it wouldn't be a weekend weather without a bit of food, and we'll get stuck into that a little later in the morning too.
You stirred us our adventurous spirits. Thanks, Emma. Look forward to the food too.
Emma's in New Zealand. Glorious New Zealand. It's a great spot.
It is. It's sensational, Cam and Layla, and what you are taking a look at the moment are the beautiful waters of Cowshed Bay here in the Marlborough Sounds, which can provide a dazzling array of different colours every single day, from the deepest of aquamarines to the brightest of greens. Today, we are assessing this at a mid-turquoise with a dash of pine. It is glorious. The sun is shining. There are a few clouds about, but if you wanted to, you could also head out on a boat there and maybe catch some blue cod or some snapper. Delicious eating, great fishing. And speaking of wildlife, we do have a little friend for you to meet straight after we take a look at your weather and see what's happening at your place right about now in Cairns. It is looking like a rainy and stormy day, a top of 30 degrees, 31 and wet and unsettled conditions also in Townsville. If you are in Brizzy, cloudy skies affecting you, 29 the top, and much the same with overcast conditions on the Gold Coast. In Sydney, becoming windy, sunny skies though, a top of 28 degrees, 39 and hot and sunny in Canberra. If you are in Melbourne, it is going to be a windy day, pretty hot to begin with, but then cooling down at about midday, 37, 35 degrees and afternoon showers in Hobart. Adelaide can expect a mostly clear day, 28, 34 degrees and sunny in beautiful Perth. In the Alice, partly cloudy, 37, and up in Darwin, showers and storms as per usual for this time of year, on a top of 32 degrees. We'll take a look at the combined satellite and synoptic chart. The monsoon trough with embedded thunderstorm activity extends from over the Kimberley Range to the Cape York Peninsula and over the Coral Sea. There is a trough in the south extending across southern WA into Victoria and Tasmania, and there is also some mid-level cloud lying just off the coast of Queensland. This is one of the native little friends that you will find in the Marlborough Sounds. Here's a Tortora, is that right, Regan?
Yep, that's right. These guys are reptiles, but they're not lizards. They're in their own special family, and they're pretty much unchanged for about 220 million years. So these guys have been roaming around when dinosaurs were roaming around.
He's pretty cool, and I had a little hold of him before. He's pretty placid, but where would I find these little friends all across NZ?
So these guys, stronghold is in the Marlborough Sounds. So the biggest population's on Stevens Island, which is in the Sounds, and there's about 30,000 of the 60,000 guys on that island.
It's getting a little bit frisky there, Regan, but you can find plenty more reptiles that are native to New Zealand in this area at the Eco World Aquarium.
Yep, we have these guys and geckos as well as fish, and lots of penguins usually.
Oh, well, that's unusual. Thank you very much for that, Regan. So if you go on a bushwalk, Cam, you might be lucky enough to catch one of these, but if you were going out on a kayak like we did the other day, you might be able to have a look at some beautiful dolphins and also orca whales, which sometimes come into the Sounds as well. And we're going to take a look at a bit of kayaking action in the next half hour.
Yeah, it looks absolutely glorious there. Thank you very much for that, Emzy. Sunday weather time with Emma Freedman, who is in a foodie's paradise at the moment.
Oh, yes, an adventurous paradise as well, Cam and Layla. And what you can see at the moment is a seaplane which has just landed here on the Marlborough Sounds and just dropping off some lovely patrons who are going to be enjoying the accommodation at Pepper's Portage. Now, if you wanted to travel in via seaplane, you could do that. Alternatively, like us, you could jump on the ferry, but that's the deluxe way of doing it. But also on the water, you can jump in a kayak, and that's George and that's Dave, and they are from Marlborough Sounds Adventure Company, and you can take a tour through these waters, either lasting 2 hours or even 2 weeks, and take a look at the coastline. I was lucky enough to jump into a kayak. We're going to take a look at that after maps, but off you go, boys. Enjoy what is going to be a sensational day here in the South Island. We'll take a look at the weather though and see what's happening at your place. Cairns due for a couple of showers and also a storm, a top of 30 degrees, 31, and showers and the chance for storm also due in Townsville. If you are in Brizzy, a cloudy day on the way, 30 the top and 29 with partly cloudy skies on the GC. Moving into Sydney, becoming windy but sunny conditions, a top of 28 degrees, 39 and hot if you are in Canberra. Melbourne, it is going to be a windy day, very warm to begin with, topping 37, cooling down around midday. If you are in Hobart, a couple of showers headed your way, very warm too, 35, 28 and mostly sunny in Adelaide, looking like a clear day in Perth, topping 34 degrees, 37 and partly cloudy in the Alice, and if you are up in Darwin, showers and possibility of storms, topping 32 degrees. Well, this part of the world does link into the Pacific Ocean and then feeds into the Tasman Sea and makes for excellent kayaking experience, I guess. And yesterday, I actually went out with Action Andy. He took us for a little bit of a paddle. And as I mentioned, you can do kayak tours for 2 hours or 2 weeks, exploring anywhere in the Marlborough Sounds, which actually makes up 20% of New Zealand's coastline, about 1,600 kilometres of coast to explore. The water, aqua, turquoise, green and blue. It is absolutely gorgeous, and the fresh air here is very invigorating as well. But after you've done all that, you've been on your seaplane, you've done your kayaking, you're going to get hungry. And that's what we're going to do in the next half hour, Layla and Cam.
All right.
Kind of looking forward to a bit of vicarious indulgence.
Yeah, indeed. We sort of live our lives through Emma, don't we?
Let's get the weather now with Emma Freedman.
Weekend Today's Weather, brought to you by Inner Health Plus.
Have you had your Inner Health Plus today?
Good morning to you, Cam and Layla. We have had a great weekend in New Zealand. It's been a lot of hard work, especially when we've been here in the Marlborough Sounds, because we've been doing so many adventurous activities that it's time to sit down, have a little bit of brunch, and I am very interested to say that our soundo Simon has decided, no, mate, you can't eat the platter yet. No platter yet. Like, I know you, no, and you had enough wine yesterday, so you just have to hold your horses there. But we'll just take you through what we've got here, courtesy of Pepper's Portage. We've got some delicious stone fruits. They are grown in the region and they are A grade, some plums, some apricots with a little bit of cream and some strawberries. Everyone loves a pastry on a weekend as well. The eggs there are actually free range, grown in the local area with some salmon that is farmed in the Marlborough Sounds as well. And then a little bit of a deconstructed bacon and eggs as well, so it looks delicious. I now give you permission to choose what you would like. There you go. While Simon has a nibble on his brekkie, we will take a look at the weather for the final time today and see what's happening at your place. Starting off in Cairns, looking like a rainy and stormy day, a top of 30 degrees, 31 and showers and the chance of a storm in Townsville. Brisbane, cloudy, 29 degrees and also overcast on the Gold Coast. Moving into Sydney, becoming windy, sunny though, a top of 28, 39 degrees and hot conditions in our nation's capital. Moving into Melbourne, looking like a windy day, cool change about midday though, a top of 37, 35 degrees and afternoon showers in Hobart. Into Adelaide, mostly sunny, a top of 28. Glorious Perth can expect a sunny day, a top of 34, 37 and overcast conditions in the Alice. And if you are up in Darwin, it's looking like a showery and stormy day to end your weekend, a top of 32 degrees. Well, a big thanks to Air New Zealand for getting us over here. They have daily flights out of all Australian major centres into Wellington, Auckland and Christchurch. You then can jump on a connecting flight right into Blenheim, which is in the centre of the Marlborough region. You can head to their website, which is airnewzealand.com.au, to book your next getaway. A huge thanks as well to Pepper's Portage for hosting us last night. They are a great place to visit, a luxury retreat, terrific food, an amazing view that you can go and enjoy, whether you're hiking, you're biking, you're kayaking. And if you want any more info on staying there, you can head to the website on your screen at the moment, peppers.com.au. Big cheers to you, Cam and Layla, for having a great weekend. And I believe next week we're back on the road again and we're going to be checking out some of Tassie.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. And you've really whetted our appetite for New Zealand. Certainly, I'd love to go there, Layla.